So I'm just going to pick up my dragon fruit that I got in the post this morning. There's something special I've got to do with it. See you later. There's a special thing I've got to do with this one. I'll show you. Check this out. A box of dragon fruit cuttings. Welcome back to the Weedy garden. Little thing that's important to know about these little dragon fruits, because they've been sitting in this box in the dark for a couple of days. So remember when you were a child and you're sleeping at night time and someone came in and turned the light on, or you had to go to the kitchen or the bathroom, you turn the light on and it's like, oh, it's all bright in your eyes. It's kind of going to be like that for these little dragon fruit cuttings. It's pretty exciting actually. This is going to be a really cool video about dragon fruit and how to look after them. But these ones, look at them, they're huge. I've got 3 in here. This is a beautiful little dragon fruit. It reminds me of like firecrackers or something like that. Put it down on the operating table and we'll just open it up so I can show you. They've been in the dark, you see, for a few days, so we want to just leave them here in the little tunnel, so it's a bit shaded. We don't want to put them directly out in the sunshine, because it'll be too much of a shock. Wow, they're packed in pretty nicely and really gentle. Oh, what a wonderful job she's done. Wow, it's so beautifully packed in. It's like a Christmas present. Just got to be careful. There's a little one that's a little arm hanging off here. Don't want to break anything. So this is good for the compost actually. Nice shredded paper. I'll put that in the worm farm or on the compost pile. So I'm going to leave these tapes on here because that's supporting it, and you can see there's the root ball here that's packed in. These are ones that I've chopped off my dragon fruit already. I've just taken some cuttings. I'll show you how to do that later. But I'll just pack the other ones out here. We'll put them up here. This is a Isis Gold. See, I want to plant 3 different dragon fruits I want to plant around my dragon fruit trellis. Alrighty, and this one is a sugar dragon. Okay, so I'll just go out and I'll show you how I'm going to make a trellis that they're going to crawl up on. And there's a few things that are really interesting and important to remember actually. Alrighty, I've found a log out here in the forest. This dragon fruit that I've got there, it's a little bit too high because it's going to take the dragon fruit like 2 years to grow up this here before it reaches the umbrella part of it. And as it's growing up, I've got to keep trimming off these side shoots that are coming off so it keeps this like trunk appearance. So this time I'm going to make it a bit shorter. So I'm going to bury it about this deep and just have a metre or so sticking up so it's only this high. Because once we get up here and it starts to shoot off here, it's just going to sort of bulge over like a mushroom, you know. So I'm going to plant it over here on this bed next to the bees. Beautiful soil down here. better. When I burn it on the bottom here, it makes a layer of charcoal around the bottom, which is going to be underneath the ground. And that way the bacteria and the fungi won't go into the wood because they don't like to go through the charcoal, you see. So that'll preserve the wood underneath the soil for a lot longer, so it won't rot. Okay. I'm going to leave that there like that, and then I'm going to mix the rest of this soil, put a bit of compost in it. So well-drained soil mixed with a few handfuls of compost every year. A lot of people might think they're a cactus, so they don't need to eat a lot of food, but that's not correct. They like food, so lots of compost and manure, they'd be happy. So these have been sitting in here in the shade, so now they can go out into the sunshine. Alrighty, so I've got 3 different types of dragon fruit here, and I'm going to plant them all together around the same base. And we'll put the first one in here. This is a sugar dragon. Sugar dragon. Beautiful. It's really easy to propagate dragon fruit because all you need to do is chop them off and put them in a pot. But there's a trick to it, a little trick to it. And as I want it to grow up here, see, as it's about 1 metre high, it's only going to take a year or so to grow up. Whereas my other one, which is higher, it took about 2 years for that to grow up. But once it grows up to the top, it's just going to bloom and blossom and explode from the top here. But as it's growing up, I'm going to trim all these side ones out, and I can show you. I'm going to replant this one and make a little cutting. So we just chop it off here, and I can probably make 2 out of this, but you want to make sure you put it in so it's heads up straight, okay? So we want to remember that this is the bottom and that's the top. So you want to trim it and stick it in the ground the right way, so that's the way it's growing. So this end you put it in the ground. So I can actually make two trimmings out of this one. 1, 2, and just put them in the soil like this. So I'm going to just tie these ones into the stump, so they're all touching the stump, because I think the little roots, they like to feel where they want to grow. Because right now they're standing on this, which I'll leave, but I'll just tighten them a little bit, so it just pulls them into this, so they're just touching. So it's good to know there's different types of dragon fruit for different types of climates, right? So if you're living in a desert area, there's dragon fruits for desert areas. If you're living in the subtropics like I am, there's dragon fruits for here. The ones that are for here, like the subtropics, they've got big dark green stems, whereas the ones that from the desert, they're more thin. They've got like a white powdery surface on their skin. So if you're going to get dragon fruit in your garden, you can either go to someone you know that's got dragon fruit growing successfully in their garden and go and get a couple of little trimmings, like this little one here, and put it in a pot. Or you can go to your nursery and ask them, because they'll know what dragon fruits to plant in your area. So dragon fruit, they love to have the sunshine and they love to have water, but they don't like to have too much water. So well-drained soil is what dragon fruits love. You can see this one over here, it's powering, it's like exploding in slow motion. Now the thing is with the pollination part of it, okay, there is two types of dragon fruit, the ones that are self-sterile and the ones that are self-fertile. The ones that are self-sterile, they have to be pollinated with the little brush, and it's like, not really for me. So I've got the self-pollinating ones here in my garden, which means that the pollinators can come in and pollinate the flower on the same dragon fruit and it'll give fruit. So just make sure you choose the self-pollinating ones if you don't want to go around and use the little brush and pollinate all your dragon fruit. Another thing is, if it rains at night time when they're open and flowering, you pretty much lost that harvest. Another important thing, when you're putting this on to tie them up to the pole, what happens is it produces moisture in there, and then it's more susceptible to aphids and rot and stuff. So a thin string tied loosely is good, or something like grafting tape is good, because that can breathe. So with the dragon fruit, when they're growing, so you'll have a little growth here like this one here. This one's going to grow out this season, and the next season it's going to flower. You can see the difference between the sort of the hard stem and the soft stem. It's the hard stem that's going to flower. The dragon fruit flower only opens once, and it only opens at night time. So at night time, all my bees are sleeping or inside the hive. So I want to attract night pollinators like moths and stuff like that. So they recommend to put some fairy lights around the dragon fruit. So I'm going to do that and try that, because the first flowers that I got from my dragon fruit didn't produce any fruit. So they might not have got pollinated. So dear friends, as you venture into the wonderful world of dragon fruit, let's remember that the magic of growing organic not only nourishes our bodies, but also gives us a deep connection with Mother Earth and uplifts our spirits. By growing dragon fruit organically, we honour the planet and ourselves, and that'll give you a healthier, happier existence. So, go ahead, plant some dragon fruit. Add a touch of magic to your garden. And remember, it's not about the end result. It's about enjoying the journey along the way. Okay? Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something. Beautiful, healthy, happy dragon fruits. Have a nice day, and I'll catch you on the next video. GoPro, stop recording.